as long as I was able to open myself up to have it. I think my biggest failure was my startup business in this performance nutrition, where first timers starting a business, not knowing what we're really doing or why, which is, great point, is always start with why am I doing this? Making all the mistakes that you can do as a first timer, and ultimately coming to a point where I felt what I think people call burnout. I'm not a big believer in burnout. You have this like press. I don't think you can be burnt out if you're present.
Mhm.
But then getting to a point where I had an unhealthy relationship with my business, and there's all these emotional aspects of running a business that started affecting my personal life. And when we get into a state of crisis, there's one of three modes: there's fight, flight, or freeze. So in my case, that was freeze. I felt like I was in this ever shrinking box that kind of just made it so that I couldn't move. And I was just doing stuff on my computer that felt safe because that's what is something that I can do to make myself feel better, right? In my little box. But then past that point, I said one day in my paralysis that I'm done. I have the option to just quit. I give up. I don't want to play anymore. And I did the right thing and exited that business in the best way that I could for everyone involved. And I pride myself in doing that, because as a business owner, you have to be responsible for the people, or at least that's my philosophy. Even though I do understand that it's business, but there's also people in that business. And a lot of good things came out of it, a lot of growth, a lot of insight, because I was willing to look at all the things where I failed myself, where I failed others, where I was driven by my ego and things that I wanted that I didn't even know I wanted, or where I acted from a place of fear and anger or insecurity, and took that to the next thing that I did, which was simple. I went back to what I do well in poker, and I started coaching, and I started getting my foundations down. And then at some point, those games died out, and I already started this. I needed an assistant. I saw that other people needed it, and so it goes. So now that I come full circle running a different type of business, I'm able to, for the most part, synthesize those things that I learn and say, oh, no, like that's you just trying to self sabotage, or like trying to get in my own way for one of many reasons, because I was able to deal with it. I was able to take that in and accept that, "Oh, you fucking suck sometimes." And that's okay. This is a part of the process. We don't think we do, but then, so yeah, I think that's my biggest just failure. There's of course other things. I'm human just like everyone else. There's relationships where I've checked out and pretended like I didn't know that I checked out. Those are like personal failures, which, I've gone to the people that I've had those relationships with and said my piece, because I like to sleep good at night. I like to bring that, yeah, level of honesty with myself. Caveat that I don't always know what that is until I do, and then just like taking 100% ownership and accountability for it, so that I can learn and hopefully do better next time.